between now and then. You join in, Claire, make sure you can hear us alright. No, let us know when you're in. Right, so there we go. Let's rub out that something's happened.
People don't need to know.
Aye. Well, I think they will, because this is the first time I've been late. Well, I've been late. Normally it's just you. Right, so
I think, aye, for this week,
got to go.
the sorry, on you go.
No, on you go. That's fine, man. I thought you were asking me a question. That's fine.
No, I was just about to announce the prompt for this week, which is zombie bunnies having a chocolate egg fight with armoured chicks, which sounds kinda. It could be epic.
It's going to be epic.
It could be epic.
Right, I'm just going to just share a picture of that, so you just talk.
Right, okay. So I think I'm going to start here, like we start every week, and just put them some panels, just to see how it all flows. So I'm thinking at the top here, we have some sort of conversation happening. The general talking up his men.
Right.
For the fight.
I can rub this out now. I think, right, so I think we're going to go, what we're going to do is we kind of pick this beforehand, because we've spent time before in other streams and it takes too long and nobody really chats at the start of them anyway, so it's best just us picking it we found. Is we're going with an epic battle. We're talking about Saving Private Ryan scale here.
Oh, definitely. That has to be big.
It'd be zombie bunnies and armoured chicks.
I think we go for big bold panels.
Do we just? I also feel as if we're creating our own challenges, just by drawing panels and then try to work stories into them.
Instead of working at the story first.
We don't know what we're drawing, we don't know what's going to be in what. Let's just do it. We'll just draw pictures and it'll make sense at the end. If we draw long enough, the pictures will be fine.
I'm thinking leave this bit in the middle clear, and we can have something happen in the middle here, and then a wee ending panel. It's far too thick, that brush.
It is, it's ugly. It looks as if you're doing it with a crane.
It's really ugly. I'm going to rub them all out.
Didn't want to be that kind of critical right off the bat, do you know what I mean? Like,
well, you should be, because you're the one that's going to be drawing in them as well, so...
Right, I'm trying to think.
Fuck, that brush is ugly, man.
Don't draw the squares now, right? Let's see if we can maybe just kind of sketch something first, right? So we're going big scale. So we're going. This kind of space we've got, right? Obviously, if I'm the zombies, then we're the. It should be maybe like your armoured chick, right? There's a chick in that. Whatever he's doing, and he's kind of standing, like maybe even here, looking out, and there's like an army over there of ravenous zombie bunnies, and he's
looking out onto the army. Aye.
And he's maybe standing, having to kind of talk, and he's having to make a decision to send out the chocolate bombs. Don't know how that's working here. It's like we're going to have to release them. Like, are you sure, General? That kind of thing. It's like drop the bombs, and then it can be bombs getting dropped and massacring loads of zombie bunnies.
Aye. We could have the like right here. We could have like a panel where he's telling him. He's telling him drop them.
Right in his face. Aye.
Here we could have a panel where you actually see him pressing the button, and then
Wee
the
doors,
kind of
aren't they?
release of the release of the bombs. Um, something flying there. I'm thinking about what's going to be flying them. Like just big,
A big,
big,
big
big
bird.
chicken.
Chickens can't even fly, can they? Not.
I know. Well, I think roosters have some sort of, they can get places that other birds that weren't able to fly couldn't get.
And then this
Like
can
a
be
penguin.
loads of like. Penguins can't fly at all, though. I mean, well, penguins can get in the water. I don't think roosters can do that.
I'm sure it could get in the water, but I don't think it'd fare very well against a leopard seal. I mean, I've seen penguins. I've seen penguins giving a leopard seal a run for its money, but I don't think a rooster would stand a chance.
I was going to say I'd pay to see
I
that,
see
but I
where.
wouldn't. That'd be a bit grim. And then we can
It would.
have like loads of like zombie bunnies getting flung about,
Yes,
wee
and
arms and that.
loads of chicks
Aye.
getting into it.
I think you've been a bit
We've got
optimistic. We're giving you half the page tonight, and you think you're going to be drawing chicks down in that bottom panel at some point. I've got like see even this bit up the top. That's probably just going to be you. It does that like some sort of outline in the distance. Do you know what I mean?
Well, what I was thinking here was obviously you take the majority, when I'm saying the majority, I mean like 80% of the bottom thing there, and just to add some sort of thing that like chicks send in, you can see in the distance that the chicks have sent in their infantry as well
Right.
as the bunnies are getting bombed out, but obviously just in the distance. So like when you're filling all this bit up with them getting bombed and the explosions and everything.
Oh, we've got Demetrius in. I'm all nervous now.
Yes, hello sir, hello sir. I told him, I said that to him earlier on. I was like, oh, feel the pressure now, and he says to me, "Fuck off."
Aye, I'll be judging everything. So this is us done. What do you think? Quality artwork. Thanks a lot for
I
joining
know
the
it's
stream,
smashing.
guys.
How not to draw something?
Right, can we merge two layers that we've drew together?
Oh, I don't know. In theory, suppose you
Because
could,
if you
but
could just merge yours down onto mine, then we'll just put the opacity down in that, and then
that didn't work.
no, it's not going
No,
to work, is it? Not? Right, I'll just
nah,
put
man.
the opacity right down, and then
Oh, it
just
doesn't really matter what I drew there anyway. I'm not really bothered what I drew there. I'll just get rid of that. I'll delete that shit.
he changed the beak. That was it.
Oh no, I deleted the bot.
Don't worry about it. We won't drop you. So I think you drew that. You can get that later.
What was it? Oh no, I deleted it. I
Aye.
deleted my whole there.
There's your beak here. Right, I changed the. Don't know why I drew a line down it as if it's got to have some sort of vertical. I've got King Gong in as well. Alright, man, thanks for joining us
Right.
and for the follow.
Right, there we go.
Can you read the
The
chat
black
yet, Spaceboy?
box
No.
is back. Sorry, I got a wee bit distracted when the whole Discord thing happened there at the start. Let's see. Let's see if I can see the chat.
Demetrius, we're planning on Demetrius. I'm saying your name wrong, and it's going to be horrible. We do plan on getting people to join us in, and it would be well impressed if you wanted to join us one week.
Oh, it'd be amazing, dude. Please, please, oh, please, aye. But see if you do, you're not allowed to draw anything better than you're drawing. That's
Well, I'm alright with that. I know I'm fine. Right, so I'm more or less just going to draw loads of zombie chicks getting massacred down here.
Aye, pretty much. Pretty much, man.
No, bunnies.
Aye, bunnies. Ah, I knew that's what you meant anyway. I was just agreeing with you, but I knew that's exactly what you meant. Right. Yes, I believe I can. I believe I can see the chat now. Right. So up here. Start with them. No, that size of brush mark because that's disgusting.
So you feel as if when you're drawing zombies, you need to kind of give them bad teeth.
Well, it depends how long they've been turned, I suppose, when you think about it.
Well, these ones are bunnies that eat chocolate as well, so there's a.
Well, that's true. That's very true. So they should have bad teeth. Terrible teeth.
Right, at least the computers. We had some technical issues at the start. With my every time I went to push go live, it was just kicking my. It was shutting the PC down. We seem to be. Like, I shouldn't have mentioned anything, shouldn't I? Not as soon as I finish this sentence, this is all
No.
going to just power down.
Yep.
But it seems to be going all right now, so hopefully it stays that way. So remember, if anybody's in the chat, and we do a kind of a draw along as well, so you're not just watching and listening to us talk, you can draw along, and we'll give it a wee share as well on our social media pages if you want, or just kind of something fun to do for yourselves. Because we try to keep the chat up, but sometimes it's hard because we're going for 3 hours.
It's difficult sometimes.
We're getting better at it.
It's just that the two of us, I think, are so used to sitting there drawing and not talking because we're just sitting drawing. It's aye, it gets a bit difficult.
Just going for it here. Just. And you can't really see what he's drawn either because I'll usually zoom in loads. I know people say you're not supposed to do that, but I do. I only zoom in loads because it adds to the mystery of what spaceboy is actually drawing, not because I can't draw zoomed out.
I mean, hopefully, at some point, we can get both of us, both our screens on the stream at the one time, which would be awesome. A little confusing probably, but awesome.
This one's actually going to be alright. So I seen you're doing the Draw Me a Robot challenge this month.
Yes, man. Yes, Sam, indeed. He asked me a couple of months back if I fancied doing it. So, but you know, I hope there's a good response to it because I have like it was like 3 characters I done. I got a wee bit carried away with myself.
Aye.
And I did like 3 characters, and I just hope that people join in like they did because the last couple of ones was like Burns was like a truck, and the one before that or the one after that was a dinosaur, like just the silhouette of a dinosaur. So I hope I've not kind of fucked it for myself by making it too much for people.
Aye, because it's too much for me. I'm not going to do it. I mean,
I will.
I'll give it a miss this one. It's far too much drawing you're asking us to do.
You better not. You better get in about it.
Aye, no, I will do it, man. Definitely. I like it.
It's it was just it was a couple of ideas that I was having for the universe anyway. Because it was something I hadn't even talked to you about yet. I just had the idea for it, and I was like, oh, robots. Yes, that'll do. That'll do.
It's like I can't talk to Craig that I'm going to be drawing this whole robot series in the comic that he primarily draws robots. Anyway, Craig, got this idea that I've been thinking just to do all these robots.
That's what I'm saying. I hadn't even spoke to you about it yet, and I was just like, oh, well.
This one here at the front looks more like a dog, I think, rather than a bunny, doesn't it? But we've got a wee while still, so we'll work on that. That's fine. Let's get some shapes and that down.
Yeah, and I'm not even liking that chicken, man. So everybody, this is how it goes for like the first half an hour is we draw stuff and we rub it out, and then we and we decide that we're going with.
Because I think
and you're just building that.
I think last week I rubbed Ollie mine out.
You did. You drew like loads of donuts and everything, and then you just went, no, I don't like that. Rub it out.
Not this time though. I'm setting myself up for this one. This is just full scene. Bunny's getting blew up, and it's going to look epic. So I don't know if any of you's following me as well. Noticed that I got to do. I'm bragging now. I got to do Godzilla boards with Bear Walker. If you haven't checked him out yet, check out his page. You get a lot of nice pictures on there, nice close-up ones. It's kind of laser cut, hand painted skateboards. A set of 3: Godzilla, Kong, and I won't say the next one. I wasn't going to say it because of spoilers and that, just in case.
Well, if they go and look at the pictures, they'll see it anyway.
But they might not have wanted to because of spoilers. I mean, that might have been the whole reason.
He's in the trailer. Come on, man.
I don't watch trailers either. See since Sony ruined Spider-Man for me. The one with the Vulture, where it more or less had like an 18-minute trailer that was the whole film, start to end. Yeah,
all the good bits in it.
It was the whole film. It was different. I think he even had him in prison at the end. And I'm like, what's going on here? Have I watched this? How you doing, Hoggy? Thanks for joining us. But they're pretty cool. I spent quite a lot of time on them, and I'm pretty chuffed with them. I think it's some of my favourite stuff I've done so far.
Oh, they're awesome, man. I like the whole fact that you can kind of put the 3 of them together as well, and have that effect where it looks like they're all fighting.
See, that was one of the reasons things took longer as well. As that wasn't initially the plan, and then it was kind of added in as we done it. So we kind of had to like redo things because of that.
Aye. Makes it more cohesive though. That's saying. That's what adds that magic. Cohesion.
I think we should have went with the toaster and the bread and the rom-com Feel as if our streams are getting a bit too violent.
Mate, this is going to be quite violent. Uh-huh.
3 weeks of violence, that's what it's been. What do you draw? Do you draw things getting smashed up with either donuts or chocolate eggs?
Uh-huh. People getting their eyes poked out, legs eaten. In this case, it's explosive chocolate eggs.
You could have him having wee beans and that come out of them. Don't think I like this wee guy. Oh, I still keep trying to do the... See, because I've been drawing my promote. Saying that, I've not actually drew much this week at all, man.
I think I've drew this week like slightly more than I've drawn since Christmas. Like I've not really. I've been finding it hard to get the time because of fixing a house and everything, and it's just escaped me. And we were talking about like daily uploads and stuff like that, just to kind of boost engagement, and I just not been able to find the time at all. And I looked the other day, and it was like I've not even posted the Donny Robot thing yet. Well, I posted it in my stories, but I've not even posted it on my page yet. I've done like 3 other drawings as well, and I've posted them either.
That'd be good. Shouldn't. He's not going to promote it. You're not even promoting it in your page, you're just looking for some free follows.
I'm fucking like way behind in that stuff, man.
I try and just do a bunch of drawings maybe one day that I've got time, and then just save them. Make it look as if I just drew them.
I don't know. It seems to be a case now that whenever I'm working in something, it's not something that I want to post. Do you know what I mean? No, because I don't think it's like good enough to post. It's something that I'm working on. It's not finished yet, and I'm like, right, I want to keep this until it's all done and dusted. And then, for this case, it's like the comic or a book or whatever. So,
Are you writing again? Whatever happened to that one you were doing?
I'm still illustrating it, dude. It's like that's been another grinding slog because I did I did the same thing as I did with the comic where I did like a whole page's worth of colouring, and then accidentally deleted it by getting rid of it, and then going, oh fuck, what did I do? And instead of going and pressing back and undoing it, I pressed gallery in a panic.
Oh.
And jumped out the drawing and went, oh no. So I've done that twice with the pages of this thing. And I don't know. It's a very with the subject that it is as well. It's a very testing time, socially, politically, I'd say, for this kind of book.
See, I'm not too sure what it's about. You send me pictures of it and that, and I think, is it a horror or?
Well,
it's like a book. I know, but it's not a kid's book.
No, it's not a kid's book, but it is a kid's book. It's based basically just a joke that me and my partner have with each other about like if something in the house happens, and we'd always say to one of the kids, like if they said, oh, I need, can I have a drink, please? And but my partner would go and get it, come back, and I was like, oh, I was just about to get the drink there, and she's like, but I love her more, so kind of thing, and it was just like a plain that. Uh, it's it like I think it's funny. People that I've let hear bits of it think it's funny. I'm just hoping that you know I
Other
don't get
people.
cancelled. Aye. People are just like, you mean your words. You mean all these words you say. I don't really. It's just supposed to be funny.
What rents me?
But we'll see how it's taken when it's
What
done.
time to pause them? Well, I liked what you've done. What you drew looked really nice. Sorry, I was just asking something there. Cause somebody wrote, here with the rents, watching teeny. Right, so that's my partner's sister. I'm going to get all mixed up here, aren't I? She streams. She swears a lot, so she's on watching us now because we don't swear much. Spaceboy.
Oh no, we don't. We don't. Fucking right there.
I wasn't even meaning that. Like, it wasn't like a William swear for me. That wasn't. That was
No,
meant. That wasn't that.
I know you never asked that. It's okay. I just felt the need to. It was a big fat lie you were telling there, Craig.
I don't. So that's what I know. I don't swear.
You actually don't.
No, I
You
don't.
actually don't swear a lot. No, you don't.
Been brought up a good boy.
I however can't help it. I probably could help it if I tried. You know, I don't swear outside round about people. I have a terrible habit though. I swearing and the children give me into trouble for it. Like, it's good that they give me into trouble for it though, and they don't just do it themselves.
Aye. Sounds like there's a lot of barbecues and that going on round about my bit.
Is it lively?
Aye. It's parties and that going on. It starts off parties, you know that these kind of things just spiral out of control. They'll be shouting soon.
Aye, and then there'll be people screaming in the street.
I apologise in advance, people, if you hear that. I'll try and limit it as much as possible. Right, so I'm going to zoom out here because it's been 30 minutes and let's see what Spaceboy's drawing.
Absolutely nothing. a chicken, a rooster thing that I don't like. That I'll probably be rubbing out in a second because I know where I'm going with the drawing now. It was almost like I had to draw that at that angle to get to get what I wanted to draw it.
I've drew, does anybody know what rabbits are? Technically I've just drew, I've actually got the picture here in front of me. No, I've not, I made that up. But now I says that people are going to believe that, and they were just copying rabbits all night. So I'm just drawing bunches of things. Like last week it was just a bunch of donuts. It was the one before. Oh no, saying that, in fact, the one with the alien wasn't violent.
No, it was not. You're right. It was not violent at all. Well, it insinuated some sort of violence.
Right, I need to make sure that these are zombies.
Had taken place.
Aye. But there was nobody getting mauled or anything, so that was alright. Brains. No, need to do that. Never really something that draws brains. I want that to be the back of his head, so...
Right, do you know what? I think I'm going to go back to that top panel. I know where I want to put stuff now. I just need to get in the rough bits further along.
How many drinking need? I'm just going to just fill this whole bottom bit, eh? So if we get anybody drawing along, because if you're drawing along, we've got a Discord page, and on that you can share your work in progress, that kind of stuff, so we can have a wee look at it. So,
It's always good. Actually, one of the demon designs for last week came from somebody on the Discord. I say it came from. I seen it and went, if you would be obliged, I'll be stealing that. Thank you very much. It worked out pretty well.
The theme is, you getting it? My secretary will get it. Sorry, my admin will get that. Are you able to, how do I do that link again? Let's see, 2 seconds. How do we invite people to the group? Create an invite, copy, paste. You able to copy that invite as well? It's in the Discord, aye. She's alright having a secretary.
See, for some reason, every time I look, I'm trying to watch the stream that's happening just now, and
Uh-huh. Yep. Have I lost you? Maybe lost Spaceboy. Oh, look what I got to talk about. Just randomly talk about things. I don't know if you've been following me, but I dabble in 3D printing of like toy making, and I made this wee cat cream thing. I like it. I'm pretty chuffed with it actually. This is probably my favourite 3D print that I've done. I think I'm going to try and maybe do something with it. Tidy it all up, maybe try and make a mould. See how that turns out. See if I can get my wee message and see what's happening to it. He's away for the chat and everything. Oh well, it's just me now, so we'll get back to just drawing some. It's supposed to be.
hello.
Oh, hello.
Something crazy happened there, dude. There was a crazy buzzing noise in my ear, and I get disconnected.
Not sure what it is, man. It's not been going too great so far. A lot of technical issues. It's because everybody's out enjoying the good weather, so nobody's actually looking after the internet.
Probably exactly the reason.
I panicked here and just started showing them things that they can buy off me. Look, Spaceboy's away and I've got nobody to talk to. Buy stuff. Buy. I says in the chat, so this is the last kind of sticker pack I've done. There's 5 stickers in it. I've got 2 very professional sticker packs. By the way, I've changed to paper rather than plastic because we're all about saving the environment. Plastic ones look cool, dead professional, but I'm an advocate of saving the planet. Is that what you say?
that what you say? Aye, what you mean?
Does that like people like you? Did you come across like a nice person if you say these things? That is what I've got them for. I did change from plastic to paper cause of that. I think that's that kind of weird change that having kids make. Like, see, before you have kids, you don't care about things. Well, I didn't.
No, but you do when you do when you have kids. Definitely, you're just like, don't fucking drop that in the street.
Aye.
I've got kids, right?
Don't ruin
I
the planet.
don't want them to inherit your shit.
That is it.
Like already, my 3-year-old, he puts the right stuff in the recycling bins. He actually knows. Like my daughter she's 12, and she put an egg box in the like just the normal bin in the kitchen, and he came into the kitchen, spotted the egg box, and went nope, and picked it out, tore it in half, and put it into the recycling bin. And I
That's
was just
brilliant.
like, that just happened. That just happened.
Aye, that's good. I think that's great.
Aye.
I can't
My
even get my
daughter
way into
didn't think
take the
so,
stuff for the
'cause
living room to the kitchen, never mind putting them in the right bin.
aye, he's awful helpful that way. It'd just be good if he slept. Sleeping children are the best children.
Right, I'm going to turn this light off. How nuts can we go with it? So I need... Have I turned your layers off as well? Do you need them back on? Right, so there's going to be an explosion here now. This is an explosion.
So I'll draw whatever the bomb the bombs are coming from, and you can draw the bombs in.
I see the way I've drew it further up. Let's see we left this. Oops. See we left this big giant bit of space. Just move everything up. If you know what I mean.
Aye, of course.
Right, and I'm just going to go and just draw around all this. I think it's enough dead zombie. Nah, we need more, don't we? Fluffy tails. So I don't know why I'm drawing them like this, because I drew a bunny today. Again, let's just plug stuff, eh? This is what it's all about, guys. I don't actually get used to join this to watch his drawing. I get it to try and get used to buy stuff. That I say that, but I don't actually ever put anything up for sale. I drew this wee bunny today and I quite liked that style. I don't know why I didn't just go with that one.
Or the wee guy in the bottom right.
No, the white one, the one that I done on the comic strip. I done like
Aye, the one at the bottom right.
no, a different comic strip on a comic strip today.
Oh.
On
Oh right, the bunny you. Oh right, the bunny you drew in the frame.
Aye.
Right on the yes,
Aye, so I quite liked that. And I thought, I wonder why I didn't actually do that.
Are you still afraid that people are going to think that you're stealing rabbits?
It definitely looks like rabbits.
I'd only say that one there does. That like this one here. That's it. That's the only one I'd say.
Aye. He's the only one that's for some reason not got a body. I don't know why. I don't know. Right, I'm going to take these sketch lines off, right? Because they drive me nuts, man. Is that alright?
Aye, that's cool.
And I'm just going to go and tidy all this up now. And then I'm done.
Smashing.
Aye, that's it. I came across an artist this week. thought of trying like shout one out. A guy called Sergey Broza. He's a, I think he's one of the senior artists in Gearbox, but his stuff's brilliant, man.
I've never seen it. I don't know the guy you speak of.
Aye,
I always like finding new artists. So
I feel as if
sorry,
when it's see when it's game artists,
Mhm.
you find that they've never really got that big a following because they don't get massive credit for their work. I
No,
feel.
they're too busy. They're too busy working as well to
Aye.
like draw to sit and draw their own stuff. Really.
Aye, but his stuff's really nice, man.
I think that kind of concept art style can lend really well to like it's just good to have that in your bag, you know, to have that in your toolkit, just for the effect that you can get for like being able to paint stuff.
Well, his stuff's very. I say what's for Gearbox? His stuff looks very Borderlandsy.
Mhm.
It doesn't look like it's not like kind of see like you were talking last week about the kind of realistic painting stuff.
Or like kind of painterly style.
Aye, it's not
it's
like.
like kind of bordering and realistic.
But his stuff, man, I like kind of cartoony stuff. It looks cool, man. Definitely worth checking them out. Looks as if he's doing that NFT thing, but we'll leave that.
Everybody doing the NFT thing.
Not me. Technically,
I just get
me, but I'm not going to.
I got a invite to We Foundation.
We?
A WIF Foundation? WIF Foundation? Is that it? WIF Foundation. Pretty cool. Another thing, I don't know if you know of Craig Patton illustration. He's from Glasgow as well.
Right.
And he worked in a comic called Kiltopia. Called. It's like a cyberpunk kind of battle royale kind of thing.
Cool name too.
And it's very cool, man. And they won like an award and everything for it back in 2019, and they sold the rights for a TV show or whatever. Sold the TV rights for it.
Right.
And the guy that directed Love, Death and Robots,
right,
is making an 8-part CG animated series.
That sounds pretty epic.
On it. Mate, it's going to be pretty cool.
Aye, I need to actually check it out then. So this guy's from Glasgow, aye?
He is indeed. I went to uni with him. He was doing something different, but we were at Cali Uni at the same time.
How come I couldn't have messaged him instead of you?
Well, listen, I'm a great guy.
Even better when you start selling rights to your thing stories to get TV shows.
I know. I was just like, I never realised it was as simple as that. It's just going, hey, listen, I'm going to sell the rights to this. See if anybody wants to buy it.
Is that how you do it though, or does somebody not approach him?
Aye, it's basically like you can go and try and sell the rights to your idea. Aye.
Is there like a website that you go into, like a Reddit?
I'm pretty sure that listen, there's a Reddit for everything. Right, so like I'm pretty sure that someone in Reddit covers it. But it's just like basically pitching an idea for a TV show. And a lot of companies obviously do approach like people when they make graphic novels or they make comics or whatever that go pretty big.
Aye, so like.
But you can just go and aye, kind of do it yourself.
Aye, because that Kirkman, I don't think he's trying to sell his stuff anywhere. Him for The Walking Dead was his first name. It's more your thing, innit? Names.
Robert,
Robert, aye.
Robert Kirkman,
Have you watched that Invincible?
haven't you? No, I have not.
I bought the first two collected editions of that, but I never ever read them. I think it was at the same time the first kid came about. I always wanted to read them because I kept hearing good things about them. But I've watched the series, the first 3 episodes of that. That's good, man. You kind of just
See,
right off the start, you're just totally in shock. Like, I didn't see that coming. So I wrote it down. If I'm stealing that, right, I'll wait a couple of years and then do it.
no, he did a kids TV show as well, like a kids comic book about a dinosaur that's got like a robotic like a robotic exoskeleton, like a T-Rex with a robotic exoskeleton.
Aye, this is just right hunters and stuff, man. Just be writing all the time.
I think I'm not too enthused the kind of way they went with The Walking Dead though.
But
As far as I don't know if he does.
did you read the comics, or were you talking about the?
Oh no, yeah, from the comics.
See, I didn't read them. Claire, well, my missus read them, and she's not finished them, but she was enjoying where she was up to. But I just get put off. I was going to read them, but I get put off with the TV series, which I thought was absolute nonsense, man.
No, it honestly the comics are really good. The comics like I'm a big fan of the TV show as well, but like I'm a fan of the TV show separately. I kind of class it as a separate entity from the comic books. Which obviously, if you come up with an idea and it gets like some TV studios like, hey, we'd love to make your comic book, your graphic novel or whatever into a TV show. You're like, amazing.
Aye.
And then they don't kind of they start making changes to like the continuity of the story and stuff, and like saying, oh well, that character has to die, and you're like, well, he's kind of still alive, like at this point, and he's actually still alive, kind of a lot further on in the comic. Nope, he has to die right now.
But
That's what the people want to see.
it seemed to be a weird decision that they were making. Says he needs to die, but the story that he's got in the comic we're going to give to somebody else. So theoretically, he didn't need to die. We could have just killed somebody else and just continued on with that story. It was weird. It was just weird.
Aye, just kind of weird stuff like that. I don't think a lot of people that like are in charge making these decisions for what kind of goes into the like how the story's going to go, because I know there's the writers are the people that get the final say and kind of how it goes. It's everybody that sits at desks that makes the decisions.
Aye.
You know, and turn around and say what the kind of what the creative input to it can be, and I feel it ruins it a lot of the time.
I listened to an interview with Neil Gaiman. Neil, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about that side, the reason that he became like the showrunner on that of that. What's that one called that he done? Not just recently.
Oh.
With James Tennant, is that his name? What's his name?
I don't know. What was the last thing was he done?
David Tennant. And he's the devil.
David Tennant.
And the other guy's...
Oh, right, and the other guy's an angel.
Aye, so...
Michael Sheen.
Aye,
right?
I think it is him, innit? I don't know, I'm just saying I'm rubbish with names, but he says because that was written by him and... I do know these person's name. Tolkien.
Uh-huh.
They wrote that book together, so he wanted to make sure it was done the way he wanted it done. So he was the showrunner as well. And I thought that was quite interesting hearing that. But he says he doesn't usually bother that much. He's quite open to people changing his stories. He's quite happy with them like, taking it and doing their version of it.
Aye, but when it's something that's that close to your heart, I suppose you're just like, right, well, you're not getting that. He
Aye,
obviously doesn't want to give them a chance to mess it up
aye, because they would have.
because it's so easily done, man. I mean, look at Game of Thrones as well. No
No,
spoilers or anything like that to anybody that's not watched it,
but it's rubbish.
but but they kind of dropped the ball in that one at the end.
Aye, they'd signed a contract with Netflix and all that. They didn't care. That's the way I feel. Oh, we've got.
Oh, the author as well. The author as well was like everybody was going mental at him. Like when are you finishing this last book? And he's just sitting there like, listen, I'm famous now.
Aye.
You know how much money I've made off of this, right?
Do you know what?
I actually don't care what you people are saying to me.
I have
I
no
really
idea
don't.
how to finish this book. Just understand what will happen. I'm hoping that I die before I finish this because if I finish this, I'm going to end up dying a horrible, hated person. That's it, really.
Totally.
No one ever gets it. A Walking Dead. I mean, he's still fans of the TV series now.
Aye.
Like there was this. Do you know when it ended it for me? See that part that they were in the middle of the field in. I don't know. There's all these stupid names in it. Like was it Haven or Dystopia or there was what was the name of the wee village? See when it turned into like Neighbours. And there was like
Aye.
2 seasons of Neighbours, and then you go, oh wait a minute, there's zombies in this. And then it was getting quite exciting where like they'd caught Carol and Rick and they were in the middle of the field. This place is right open. This place was purposely made open so that they can see zombies if they get in. Right? This was the whole point. They even spoke about it with the woman when she was designing it with her husband that was dead. So they were in this field about to chop his hand off, and then just as they're about to do it, a lion jumped on him. I mean, where did that come from? Did they airdrop it in? Because it couldn't
Oh,
have
the
run.
tiger.
Aye, the tiger, aye.
That's Ezekiel's tiger.
I understand that, but how did it get to them without anybody saying, there's a tiger running across the field?
Well, mate, listen. You go somewhere that there's tigers in the wild, right? And you tell me if you see a tiger come before it fucking eats you.
Well, see that tiger? It had about 35 people that were in black leather trench coats with shotguns and pickaxes. I'm sure they'd have at least
That
seen
one
them.
guy.
Do you know what I mean? There's no way. No way. That was it. That was when I decided, do you know, no. Because they teased that because Rick loses his hands in the comic, didn't he? Or his hand. And
He does.
I felt as if they were playing with my emotions there for a joke.
Aye, mate, it totally was. There was a few times actually during the show where things that happen in the comic were teased, and then just don't happen, and you're like, oh, what? Are you kidding me on? Really?
Or they teased them and then you had 4.5 seasons and then it happened. I felt as if it was just see when they tell you there's seasons or it's going to be 12 episodes or something, and after those 12 episodes there's going to be a break and then there's going to be another 12 episodes. I think there's no way there's that much writing in this. Just make it a good show. Don't care about what's needing, or don't care about needing to hit so many numbers.
It's that's what it is. It's also like I think that they've grown addicted to that tension as well, trying to get that like they take it to the like the extremes with cliffhangers. Like they'll leave you for like a whole year on a cliffhanger
Literal
instead
ones.
of just leaving you.
Somebody actually hanging from a cliff. What's happening there? I gave up on it. Fred man enjoys them
Oh,
too.
I enjoyed. I enjoy. Oh, I still enjoy it. It's
Is it still on? Is it still?
aye, season. It's the last season coming up.
Right.
So,
It's supposed to be chicks in armour, not Furbies.
aye, it's chicks. It's downy fur.
By the way, they look good. There you go. See that this is the reveal, guys. This is what happens. See, we stayed zoomed in and then we zoom back and we get the reveal. A space boy taking ages to do anything.
To do wee tiny feathers.
Right, I'm done. So I'll come back in an hour.
No, you can do rabbits up here.
So where are they going? I'm not sure what's happening there.
Here, there's supposed to be like a like there's your kind of size for your rabbits.
Right, that's good.
And just do them right across here, like kind of, but like almost like thinging off into the distance, like getting smaller.
Right. What's that in the middle?
So they're standing at that kind of angle. It's a part of the bunker.
Right, got you. Right. I know where you are now.
I'm thinking now, but it just looks like that wee chick's just staring right at the wall. I'm going to move it over.
It
Wait a
does.
minute, I'll move it over.
You need to remember though, birds aren't that smart. I mean, their helmets are broken, everything.
Right. Made him look like a poor simple soul. Right, let me see. Do you know what? Take this piece.
You've left him in as well. You just got to give me that whole space in.
Aye.
Right.
Aye. I think it's fair considering I'm going to be taking like
I did
this bit here.
I did
as
think
well.
it was a bad idea giving you so much space with the time constraints. Did they look like zombie bunnies? Or did they just look like normal bunnies getting blown up?
No, they look possessed.
That's
Aye, right, okay.
that's a lot of characters for you to go around and do black lines in. Yeah, smoke this back. Let's give me a wee zipper just for. Seen they're making that Why the Last Man again. I don't know if you read that, didn't you? I spoke to you about that.
Are they actually making one this time?
Aye, I think they've got everybody in place now. Aye, can you rub that the wee bits out again up here?
I know they were supposed to be making one quite a while ago, and it was Shia LaBeouf that was supposed to be playing it.
I like him.
Playing the main character.
I think he's a good
I thought it
actor.
would have been good.
Aye.
I thought it would have been really good. It would have suited the character.
I know he's a bit crazy in that, but I like him as an actor.
Well, again, it would have really suited the character.
What's that? I don't know if I say this before, do you? You almost kind of need to start taking notes of what I say or
Why the Last
re-watching. Eh?
Why the Last Man?
No. What I'm saying is that Shia LaBeouf. I watched a film with him not long ago called The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Ah,
You seen it?
I have not.
By the way, it's brilliant. I always feel as if it's
I
a bit
have
a
not
strange
seen
thing bringing up movies because you don't want to talk about it just other than check it out. It's good. I laughed. I cried. That's really the only two emotions I've got. Anything after that, I've nothing. Laughing and crying.
Good admin. Let me see.
Right, so I'm just going to draw a army. I'm going to have to zoom in dead close here. This isn't going to be easy. You try and make them look pure rabid. Ah, like rabbits. Or at least like zombies anyway. So figure out how they're going to look and the size.
Oh, they might be a bit close, actually.
Aye, there, aren't they? I think it's better just going to be like a horizon. There's random profanity coming for the barbecues now, that's the start of it.
I'm actually surprised. There's nothing that you could hear a pin drop here, which is odd. It wasn't like a couple of weeks ago when Rangers won. It was the place went crazy.
That's them all partied out, or they all caught COVID. Right, so for the people watching, does this look as if there's an army of zombie chicks coming for the distance? No, zombie rabbits, and then this is them getting blown up. Can you see that? Sometimes I feel as if you can only see it in your head because you know what it is.
No, I can see that.
I think it's better like that rather than trying to draw loads of wee tiny rabbits. So I'm trying to think what we would do for I was told that you don't ask people to write things in the chat 'cause they don't like it. So we've got two sticker packs to give away to put the pressure on Spaceboy even more when he's trying to draw and talk. That you can decide what's happening with one of them, and I'll decide what's happening with the other one. It's pure panic. Oh no! Can't deal with this.
Fuck off!
And just off the bat, no one ever gets. You're not getting any. Because I feel as if you're rigging all competitions on the internet. You know something. You know something. Oh, that was looking good, man.
It's the eyes.
Ah, his wee mouth's good. It is. It's looking good. I liked the helmet as well.
It was an angle issue.
I think you yourself
Was
more
having an
stressed out
angle
about
issue.
them rather than there being any issues with the angle. It's all in your head.
Well, it's true. Any way you look at it.
This is the part where I usually draw around just drawing random things in places. Normally we've got squares and I'll draw wee characters around the squares. The cells, is that what they're called? Panels, comic panels, innit? Struggling there with that.
I can't look at angle there.
I was saying, did you see my wee cat cream thing that I made?
I did, dude. I love it.
Aye, so they are. I was saying that. It turned out awesome, I was so chuffed with it. And then see, just putting like a wooden stick in the bottom of it, how much it added to it.
Oh, did you just leave a space for the stick?
Aye, aye. And just jammed an old Magnum stick in it. Nobody will care about that one, innit? It's only my way into it. It's sticks I had for mixing resin that I got ages ago. Which all just fell into place.
I did. It worked. It worked really well. So you see, did you see in the page I sent you as well? There's like a wee ice cream menu on the side of that box. And I drew the wee catsicle thing as one of the ice creams.
When?
Did you not see it? With the picture I sent you yesterday?
What picture did you send me yesterday? Oh right, no I didn't. I was thinking that there. What, the sketch page?
Uh-huh.
You can't zoom in on that, man. There's no way I can see that.
Okay. Oh, I sent you an Instagram, didn't I?
It's tiny.
Aye, the quality's disgusting.
Who wants to try and see if we can get a sneak peek of a World's Glide comic page?
Oh, don't! It's one of the
It's
ending
white.
pages.
It's white. It doesn't work here. It does for some reason. Everything's too bright for the camera to pick up, and it just overexposed looking. I showed them it though.
Mate, that's it. It's meant to be like that.
That was the page. That's just white. It's like a cliffhanger.
It's I forgot, man. I'll send you by email because I forgot how shitty Instagram's quality is.
Aye, it's just not very good when you send a picture over it. It is all blurry.
It's like the amount of detail that I put into the Draw Me a Robot thing as well. It like get totally lost in the posting. So much so that I felt like I had to give people close-up headshots of the robots,
Instructions.
so you could actually see the detail.
You just sit in the house pure stressing out. Oh no, I've made this too complicated. Oh, no, I need to do something.
It's totally been me for the past couple of days. Like, oh man, have I made it? Have I did too much?
I need to explain the size and that to them now.
Basically, I felt at one point like the initial idea was to do was for them to do like a wee 5-panel comic like we do every Saturday.
Aye.
Right, and I was going to do one based on the old gods, but when I said to Eric, he said to me, "Dude, I love the idea, but like, you know, people usually do these things on the fly because it's a draw this in your own style. There's a good chance there's not going to be a lot of engagement if it's like a comic, you know, it's like a comic strip. So, I mean, I totally seen the point in that. But I just don't like how Instagram butchers the quality.
Aye, it does. That's why I don't even try and see, like when I'm posting stuff, I just post photographs. So if you think my
Aye, 'cause
artwork's good on
it's
Instagram, think about how much more amazing it looks in real life. That's a what do you call it? That's a segue on it. By the way, I've got prints available. No, it's Easter. I'm going to do an Easter sale. That's my plan. I've got a box of
an
artwork.
Easter sale.
Aye,
An Easter sale, you say?
I've got a box of artwork that I've not. I've either tried to sell at some point, like maybe put it on my story for once, and 200 people have seen it, and or I've not even tried to sell. So I need more floor space. It's just taking up floor space. The box of stuff.
Can't buy any more stuff till I sell this stuff.
Aye, that's it. But I feel as if I've got to a position where now I've got all my stuff. I don't really need to buy much things. I don't really use anything other than an iPad and scrap bits of paper. Old comics. Everything I use now is just old. See, before when I was just kind of getting into it, you're always like going on and buying the best of paper and pens and all these different ink and stuff and pencils. Now I don't use anything.
Oh no, my favourite sketchbooks are from Flying Tiger, and it's like £1 for 3 of them, and they're wee A6 things, and they're just the best. The paper's silky smooth, like they take like a biro pen really well. Um, they're no much. They kind of bleed through. You can't really use markers on them. I mean, you can use markers on them if you like. You just need to glue 2 pages together to do it. But they're really cool and they're super inexpensive. I've never like I've got Moleskine sketchbooks there, right?
Right.
I've got a couple of Moleskine sketchbooks, but I've never ever felt the need to go and buy more, because because of how much I spent on the ones that I've got, I don't actually want to draw on them.
See the see Moleskine. That's just is that not just the cover?
No, it's just it's the brand.
Is it?
It's the brand. It's just like
Can,
it's
can
really,
we can we redact that?
really, really fine. It's really fine, like fine, smooth paper. It's great paper to draw on, but I just couldn't see myself going and spending like super amounts of money uh, on paper
No,
all the
what
time.
I've got is looking off it. There's well, my secretary's. My admin's not. What is it? Sorry, my mod. She doesn't like secretary. I like secretary. Her brother's partner's dad. This is kind of long-winded. He works in like a bookbinding place, and they get me these pads. Let's of London. By the way, I don't know what it is, right? I don't know, but the paper feels dead thin, right? Really smooth. But everything takes to it really nice. Like ink takes to it really nice. Paint pens take to it really nice. Pencil, and nothing bleeds through.
Ah,
It, sometimes you put hundreds of paint on it, it kind of crumbles a wee bit. But see, as an actual sketch pad, to just use anything. They're brilliant. It's my kind of zombie Bob Ross thing that I was drawing. Showing them random things in the wee screen up the top. Aye, by the way, they're brilliant. I say I might next time, well, if you can ever see people, because I've got a few of them. I can give you one, see what you think of it. They're quite big, that's the only issue. You need a table maybe, they're not like small sketch pads. But they're really good. I say to take everything takes. It's good for just getting ideas down. If you've got ink markers and paint pens, you've got everything, and you can just fire everything on it.
see that I love paper like that, but it's that. it's that thing, isn't it? Like you don't want when it's sketchbooks because you know you're going to draw on them. There's a good chance that everything you draw on them is not going to be that good. So you're just like you don't want to go and spend loads and loads of money because I think when you've got a good sketchbook that you've spent a good bit of money on, you're really particular about what you draw on it. And I don't like being like that about sketchbooks. I'd rather just um, draw whatever shit I wanted to in them
Aye,
without feeling bad about it.
my sketchbooks are, the sketches in them are that bad that sometimes I need to write next to it what it is because I can't even tell when I'm done.
I do that sometimes.
It's just
I think we've talked about that before.
it's just to get an idea down. Do you know what I mean? Just get an idea down, and it's in my head. Get it out. And that's what I need to do. And I'll write next to it. Right, this was that. I'm like, and you're flicking through, and like, all right, that's what that was. Like, I know I've got that only that wee tiny screen up the top there. I don't know if you can. I can make that bigger, can't I? See, just for this split second, guys. Oh no. No, let's not try that. We'll end up messing everything up. I'm trying to change things, but like, I'm trying to see if there's any examples of sketches that I've done recently that have turned into something else. No. Well, that was me sketching like wolves. I don't know if there's been a few of them recently. I like the idea that the wolf head. I came across some account that does wolves heads inside wolves. They're nuts, absolutely crazy, and totally made me want to draw wolf heads. That's it. Just this is all the pages I'm going through. There's nothing that I've actually thought. Do you know what I'm going to do that? This is me just sketching out my wee characters for the day's posts. There's a sneak peek of who the fifth character was. Very easy, even know what I'm talking about. You just talk assuming everybody knows everything that's happening with your page. But I agree, no one as well. That's you'd seen that. See, like you were talking about the draw me robot and think that the comic idea wouldn't work. He says that he thought it'd been a good idea. Well, he'd have been up for it. But I thought that's what the one before you. I thought that's what that was going to be, and it seemed as if people were right up for it.
Oh, well.
But I think yours would have been already sorted by then. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The decision of yours had already been made. Cause I think he plans it a few months in advance, didn't he?
I'd only said to him about a couple of weeks back what I was doing.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It just kind of left it up to me to decide what I was going to do, but I'd literally just told him what I was going to do. But listen, the way I seen it, it was anyway. I was going to do the cover bit anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and do like a wee 3-page thing with them because I had like a wee idea. I like how they would figure into the whole universe. Again, it's just like one of the things with sketching, just kind of trying to get it out of your head, so that it doesn't disappear, which happens sometimes.
Are we going to draw boxes around these characters in the middle?
Yeah, indeed. I feel like I'm having one of these I can't draw nights.
I was thinking that as well. Not me, obviously.
Aye. I'm just it can't work out for as well every single week, can it?
Well, if it had to be one good week, it needed to be this one. We had people in that we needed to impress. Is it the pressure got to you?
I'm not here to sex anybody out, right?
doing kind of messing about with some other things as well. See, frames can just make art look better.
Aye.
Like, I put a wee black skull in a frame and drew it in pencil and just kind of raised it up a wee bit, and it looks pretty cool, man.
I think frames just make it all look finished.
I've got one frame that I just kind of use over and over again for the different pictures. Just take everything out and put them in a box, just flat. Looks as if I'm using hunters. It's framed artwork somewhere.
Was it just a one frame?
Aye.
Here's me thinking as well that you have got all these things all framed at home.
Aye, all sitting all neat
All
and
this,
tidy and that.
all this fucking stuff.
It's all broke and everything, so it is. One of my boys got into it and dropped it, and the glass is all cracked in the corner, but you can't see that. Just changing in the fly. I come down, you're like drawing a big hand, and then the next one it's just a whole control panel.
Aye.
See, instead of doing like a plain drop, right? It could be like, oh no, what is that there? I opened like a chat. You can make it say something along they're reaching the minefields, even though we're supposed to be doing chocolate bombs. Could the chocolate bombs be in the ground?
They could very well be.
And you're just kind of setting them off because they're zombies. Zombies aren't going to get to the bombs and say, "Oh, by the way, look at all the chocolate bombs in the ground." And you're just pushing a button to set them all off. Put wee ribbons and that on them. A wee arrow. Arrows and explanations are always a good thing. Chalk bombs. This is why I'm the brains of the duo.
You make this joke every week, and I never laugh at it.
I laugh at it, so that's all that matters. What I've
I
found is
laugh at you laughing at it.
we've grew up watching Family Guy, and what you learn through Family Guy is if you keep using the same joke, it'll eventually get funny. That's fact.
See, though, I stopped watching Family Guy and started watching American Dad because of that reason.
Right, I'll take that hint.
What is happening here? Why on earth? Right, mate. I've had Twitch on, right. About 3 times I've put it back to the stream that we're doing just now so that I can see comments, right? And for some reason, I'm on Bob Ross now.
Oh no, that was. Is it Bob Ross with like a mad face?
There's a Bob Ross stream.
Oh right, no.
Somebody's streaming Bob Ross, and it's on that now for some reason. I have no idea why.
It's an official Bob Ross stream, isn't it? It's not. I think they started doing
I
that.
think it is, yes.
I watched a thing about that not long ago, and all his paintings are all just sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
Aye. Yep.
She's
Some
done
of them have been in boxes and wrapped up since he done them, and have never been opened. And so many people, there's people all over the world that want to buy them for ridiculous amounts of money, and they just get told no.
Just turn them into NFTs.
Maybe that's what he was waiting for. maybe that's what they were waiting for. Maybe they were waiting to upload Bob Ross as an NFT.
I'm just adding things to this panel you've got here. I hope it wasn't supposed to be something.
Which one?
The one up the top right.
Oh no, mate, see that wee bit there? That wee bit was supposed to be just like ammunition of some sort or something.
What I feel as if with this one, we disconnected ourselves too much for actually drawing together. We just gave each other a panel, whereas the other ones we've been drawing the same panels.
Aye.
Feels as if this hasn't been as interesting.
No.
For that reason, I think it's still going to turn out cool, but I think the other ones worked well when we were kind of drawing over each other. I think you're getting caught too much up on these wee things, but who's pushing the button?
Aye, there's a wee guy here pushing the button. That's it, mate. Yeah. That's it, basically. Aye. Oh no, he looks like he's enjoying that far too much, mate. Oh, that's a fair point. Why am I working on that side of the control panel when the wee guy's going to be there?
That was my point.
Oh, what an asshole, man. Well, do you know what? The magic of digital art, we can just do this.
Are we watching? Is everybody watching?
Oh, get ready for that. Oh, that's definitely not going to work now, isn't it?
Aye, that's you couldn't even tell what you done there seamlessly.
Completely seamless. Oh, for fuck's sake. Here, do you know what? I'm going to admit defeat there. And just and go back and rub that out. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell's that?
We're at we do this now at the end, but we're at 86 followers, nearly 100. Well, not nearly 100, right? It's 14 away from it, but it's close. But if you keep this calibre artwork up, then
Here, wait a minute. Something's happened.
so wait a minute, we're at 85, 84.
Oh no, it's crashing.
Right, you can do the check, I can do the control panels if you draw the general control panel.
Aye, let's do that.
Whoa, what's going on? What have you done? Look at the whole page.
Whoa, what has happened?
Man.
Right, 2 seconds. I can't see my the top of the browser, so I can't see the undo.
Left. if you can see my pencil, it's round about. Oh no, wait. This is all going to depend on where you zoomed in at. You got it?
Um, no, I've just turned the layer. Just turned the layer. Actually turned the layer.
You have, you've turned it
what
all.
the fuck? Right, there that. We may yet solve this. Pressing back and nothing's happening.
It only goes back like 6 or something, man. Hardly any. It's got quite a small, I don't know what you'd call that, a memory for undoing stuff, so it has. This is Magma Studios for anybody that doesn't know. It's pretty decent, by the way. It's good fun. This is our fourth week. Our fourth week, seriously, or?
Aye, fourth week, dude.
Aye.
Fourth week, and seems to have. It's like 3 comics. So well, no, fourth week, fifth week.
Fifth week.
Aye, we had 3 random sketches, and then we've done 6 week because we've done 3 comics so far. 3 comic pages. Oh shit.
Aye, right, so it was the totem pole, the cats versus dogs, the alien truck stop, demons versus donuts, and then this. Hey!
Right, there we go.
Don't worry about that square. Oh.
Oh! Right. Is that alright? That's back in place, isn't it?
Yep, that's it, spot on, aye, everything's lining up nice,
Right.
Don't touch anything.
Right, that's back in place, right? Not touching.
So this panel's going to go, whoops, maybe along there. What's this wee guy's, like, where's he standing on? Is he in a room? Is this a room they're in, or?
Aye, same. No, that's going to be like a separate panel.
Right, so he's in his own panel.
So it's going to be like a.
I'll let you do that because I don't know how you do the straight lines. But put the skull in front of it, if you know what I mean. As if a skull's coming out.
Aye, of course, yeah.
Struggling with that. Just off the top of it, is he in the bunker?
This guy's in a. I don't know. He's involved in it somehow.
I think this would be the perfect moment to say that I'm the one that's doing the writing. He's involved in it somehow. I don't know. He's involved somehow. He's in a panel, so there he is. He's in the story, right? I've drew him. He's in it.
Aye, this guy is this wee guy here, but they're like in a kind of open, like a kind of open bunker. they're not really
Right,
that protected.
right.
Let's put
That's
it that
that's
way.
why the dirt's on the ground.
Aye.
Right.
That's why there's like smoke and stuff like that coming in through the thing. I mean, I thought could be kind of smoky here, like over where all the rabbits are. Like that's how we can't really see them. It's because there's like loads of smoke and shit. Aye, very atmospheric.
And then this other panel. So this is going to come down.
Yep.
And you're going to have a wee guy pushing that. See, instead of
Aye.
saying tweet, 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 I think you should just have him just saying like just off, straight out profanity. Push that effing button.
Do you know what? I thought it would be cool. I thought it would be cool to have them like like tweeting to each other, and then for there to be subtitles. But I know that when we upload it, we're not really going to be able to see what it's said in the subtitles. So it's not really much point, is there?
No.
No, no. Fucking terrible idea.
It would have worked if you could draw faster. That's what I'm going with. There's lines. See
Listen, I'm
that
having an off night
and
tonight.
that.
Okay.
The two things. Can we remove them?
What, you, what
No,
about
no, not
my
that wee
chicken,
thing.
my chicken
That
nugget
there,
noodle?
that there, that there, and that there. Just the random lines, and possibly the ones and all. Right. So now I'm claiming this side of the page. Right. This is my side. That line there as well. I find it nuts that you're actually not even noticing that, just drawing away.
I know you've got to rub them out. It's cool.
That isn't my. Oh, that's my line. Sorry.
You were shouting at me to rub out lines, and it was your line. Really?
Aye, aye. Right. Let's see. Doing like these wee clocks here, right? These wee panels. And I always like, see when I'm doing stuff like that, I always like to think I can hide something in them. And I do like to like do things like that every now and again, just like even in my artwork, like when there's like text in the background, I like to like reverse it and flip it, so it doesn't look like text, but it always is. And I put like wee hidden messages in it.
Looks like shape.
Eh?
So it just looks like kind of shapes.
Aye, but it's like text, and it's always I like to hide these wee messages, but the messages are always daft things like cat with a hat, and it'll just be a picture of a cat with a hat. But in my head, I think this is cool, this is witty. Nobody will ever get this, and they won't because nobody's going to ever take the time to even bother to look at
Oh, when I look at the pictures,
that. For like 30 seconds, if that. No, you don't even get 30 seconds, don't you not? Is anybody drawn along with us? Nobody? Not getting anybody this week?
Oh no, there was somebody. I'm sure. There's not.
Oh, there is, aye. No one ever gets it. By the way, I'm massively impressed with the leap that you've taken your art over the last month. I feel as if it was always just kind of one character, and you've went from one character to whole scenes really quick. Really interesting, kind of full of detail scenes as well. I felt as if that was a kind of, I think we spoke about that last week as well. It was a hurdle that took me a while to get past. So you just drawn a character, it was just a character in the middle of a page. That's all it was all the time.
Aye.
And I feel as if he's pushing himself all the time.
Aye, it's difficult to get past that. I think it's just visual library. Like that affects you with a lot of that kind of stuff, man. And obviously telling yourself as well, because I did it for a hell of a long time. Oh, I can't draw that, so you don't bother. You know what I mean? You just don't bother. When it's not the case, man, you just keep pushing yourself, and someday you'll
Be as good as me.
be able to say, oh, by the way, I can't draw tonight.
I've been I've not been feeling it lately, man, at all. I've drew less in the last wee while than I have in ages. Just nothing. I'm not feeling any kind of spark or anything. Like, do you know what I'm going to draw tonight? I kind of know what the problem is. In fact, I'm lying. It's nothing to do with the drawing. It's Monster Hunter Rise. It's definitely the issue. By the way, I've put like nearly 30 hours into that in a week.
I've not, my PlayStation officially died the other day as well. Like, it's officially dead now.
That's what happens when you buy a rubbish console. Xbox loyal.
Listen, man, I'm in total agreement. I was going to get an Xbox, but my daughter's getting an Xbox. I was going to get an Xbox One, and it was my partner that talked me into getting a PlayStation, just because all the rest of my mates had PlayStation. She's like, well, you said you wanted to play with them, so you wanted to play with your friends, William. so you should get a console so you can play with your friends. And then I went and I played with my friends for ages. And then I fought with my friends, etc. because of games. So I decided that I'd much rather have a thingy this time, an Xbox this time.
Switch. That's my favourite one because my boys more or less took the Xbox off me, but not my Switch. I've got my own Switch. It's mine. Limited edition Pokemon one. Looks awesome.
I've never played a Switch.
I love my Switch, man. Like, I don't know if you've seen, I shared a game, something kid or something boy, Team 17's new game. By the way, I understand that this is an art stream, right, but I'm massively into games. So I'm going to find it hard not to talk about games. As much as I'll say I'm not going to, it will generally come up in conversation. I apologise. But I feel as if games have got such a big part of art as well. Because see if you see this game, I'll try to think the name of it. Wait, Google it right. Right, Narita Boy. It's like a pixel art. It looks brilliant. The animations look brilliant. The soundtrack sounds brilliant. It looks like such a fun game. Even just to play, just to enjoy the audio and the visual. In fact, I think it's the kind of game I'd rather somebody else played for me while I just watched.
See, my partner likes to do that. She likes to watch the games while I play them. Just sit there and watch. Like, I love. Do you ever play Abzu?
That, by the way, I've got that. I bought that on my Switch. I got it. By the way, I got it for like £2.
Oh, dude, what a beautiful game!
Aye, that's. See when something's on sale, I'll just kind of favourite it and then I'll maybe have like a stack favourited, and then I'll just go on like YouTube and go through reviews, and that's what they're
Hmm.
saying. It's just such a nice game, just to just chill out and relax.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Aye, but I never loaded it up. But
Oh no, it's really, 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 really beautiful. It's one of the games that I'd never seen anything like it before when I played it. Never.
I can
I'd been like kind of in search for. It's one of the kind of arty games. I think it's for the same people that made Journey. I don't know if you ever played that.
I didn't because I didn't. I know what game it is though. The one the wee person just runs
Uh,
about in the sand with no arms.
aye, amazing, amazing man. Just you wouldn't think there was a lot to it. You wouldn't think it was a really in depth game. Um, but the gameplay is really simple, even though the game is just so uh, wonderfully detailed.
I don't think it. I'm sure I've
That
seen something, but
sounds.
it didn't do very well that game, didn't it? Even though it seemed to get a lot of critical acclaim, it didn't do well financially.
Oh, probably not. Do the wee indie games don't really? Because I think well, with a lot of things, it's big business that ends up dominating these all these niches. Like especially when they see something, like an indie developer comes out with a game, and then like some big game developers like, right,
I don't know.
yeah, that worked. Let's
CD Project
let's
Red
make a
do
game
alright
like
for
that.
being an indie developer.
Who?
CD Project Red.
I will.
That's nuts to think. Like you just think indie, you think somebody making a wee game. I think you just do everything themselves. Saying that, I tried to play that there again. Right, I went back to Cyberpunk, and it loaded up. I've not got the new Xbox. I've not got the Xbox. Oh, I get mixed up, man. Series X. I've got an Xbox One X, so like the upgraded version of the old series,
Uh huh.
and it loaded up and I died. I got out of my car and I died. And I was right. I didn't realise what happened there. I better check that. So I loaded up again. Baby, the loading times were at 5 minutes. Loaded up, died. Oh, I loaded up again. I thought, right, do you know what? I'll drive a wee bit down the road and then I'll go out. So I done the same thing. Got out my car and I just died straight away. Like, do you know what? Done. Not playing this game ever again. So I went and played Monster Hunter because it's good.
I'm dying to play Cyberpunk. I think it looks amazing. But like I just wouldn't even have bothered buying it for either my daughter's Xbox or my shitty PlayStation. I wouldn't have bothered. There was no point at all.
I'd just wait until you know it's definitely fine again. Or if it gets to that point.
No, I think it will be definitely fine when you get a new Xbox. Because like Snub has been playing it, and he doesn't seem to have any problems at all. I asked him,
Well,
and he's like, not really.
by the way, I wasn't having any issues with like technical issues until I stopped playing it for a while there and then went back to it. And I just feel as if something's happened that my wee guy keeps dying. I could probably figure out what it was, but see, just the loading times are that long that I couldn't even be bothered doing it. See, especially because I'm enjoying playing Monster Hunter. It looks brilliant on the Switch, by the way. Absolutely brilliant. And the load times in that are crazy fast. That's it. Capcom, best game developer ever. Ever. If anybody wants to disagree with that, I'll fight you. Capcom make the best games. Right? Nintendo might be close, right? So there might be somebody saying throw it out, but some of the best gaming characters ever. Mega Man, Ryu and Ken, Rathalos, Chris.
Konami though.
Eh?
Konami.
Overrated. Talking about
Oh, do you think so?
Hideo Kojima.
Aye.
Overrated. He's
Oh,
he's
I don't
another
know, man.
Peter Molyneux. Talks about a big game but
Oh,
doesn't.
here, listen. See, Black and White. Black and White was one of my favourite games for the PC when I was younger.
But see, before it came out,
Ever.
he was telling you about how you were going to be a god and you could do everything. And then all it was just lemmings in 3D.
Well, I will say that it was that there was a point where I was like, listen, I don't want to be this character anymore. I want another character. I was told I can go all these different characters, right? Don't want to be this one anymore.
Right, I'm realising that you're getting chicks smashing his face on the control panel. Right, so
That is pecking it.
something has to be here, doesn't it? It has to be like a fire. No, it's not fire because they're just blown up. What would be the word then? Blow up?
Detonate.
I thought detonate, but it sounds too professional for the calibre of stream you're delivering.
Right, aye, blow up will suffice.
I like blow up, I go with that.
Execute.
Rubbish puns definitely wins. I'm going to be able to. I'm not even going to be able to spell a wrongly spelt word. Egg. Execute. Egg. So we still put the X in it.
No, eggs.
S.
Ah. Oh, that looks like egg sack. Egg sack cute.
I'm alright with that. That's fine. I was looking back at some of the stuff I done last year. Last year I done a thing. It was Dungeon Dwellers or something it was called. And I drew.
Aye, I seen that.
I drew a few of them. I realised, like, see, like I worry about writing things. I think I can write stuff alright as long as I'm not serious. Writing serious stuff is too hard, man. But writing just made up nonsense, you can just put anything down. I think I've done
Aye,
eight of them, and some of them are pretty good. I was reading back and I was having a wee chuckle on that. That's quite funny. I'm funny.
It was with the swords and stuff as well, didn't you? You did one that was all swords.
Aye.
I liked that one. That one was cool. The wee magma guy as well. That was funny.
Because there was one about a unicorn helm. There's something unicorn helm of the gods. And I wrote about that and it bestowed the power of gods on you. But it was a god of dance. You just danced until you died. By the way, I think we should maybe bring some of these back. This could be comic gold. Obviously, with your touch, you could take them and refine it, and make it actually decent.
No, it was it's a good. They were good to start with. It. I don't think they need any refining. That's all.
I'm saving that as a highlight, Sommer.
What?
Getting told that my writing was good enough to be used.
Let's just state for the record that I never said at any point that your writing wasn't good enough to be used. That was all you.
Aye, it definitely isn't sometimes. Even just my poster hard.
I found it really difficult not to make a penis joke there.
I even set it up and everything. I wrote it down in my notes. Look, set up penis joke, and you didn't even take.
I'm trying to kind of channel some sort of professionalism here.
I think there's too much of that on the internet. I mean, the internet is a very professional place, and I feel as if we can kind of maybe bring it down a wee bit.
Oh mate, we brought it down a whole lot the first week, so let's continue then.
Aye, I think there's a standard that we don't really need to keep. So how do you think it's looking so far? If anybody's still there paying attention? Can you
I think there's a
smash
bit of
these?
a panel.
I feel as if maybe there should be a wee head here, shouldn't there?
Mate, there's a bit of your line in my chicken. Get your line out my chicken.
There?
That's it, mate.
Are they all mine? Aye.
Uh,
No, the ones up there are yours.
aye, the ones up there are mine, that's cool.
What, there's the heavy dance tunes on.
So what did you draw this week, Spaceboy? Ah, well, I fucked about, drew loads of stuff, rubbed it out, then Emery drew most of it.
Is that not what happens every week?
No, definitely not. What usually happens is you end up having to talk for a good 40 minutes while I put tiny wee details in places.
Aye, that normally happens
And
at
then
the end, aye.
Continue to put details in places.
That's good. This is what we liked. This is what it was normally like. Like he was drawing stuff, I was drawing stuff. That fits in there really nice. It definitely was the perfect place to put stickers on it with logos though, but you've just went and wasted that.
Well,
On the side of the PC.
oh no, I was going to put wee stickers in the helmet.
Right.
The wee guy's helmet up the top's going to have the stickers on it.
We do stickers on stuff. So I was trying to figure out how to get music on earlier on, right? Because we want to have kind of like wee theme tunes and stuff at the start, so that I feel as if when the stream starts, you don't really know what to say. So I was going to have a wee theme tune, and I had GarageBand and that opened up, but it doesn't work. I don't know how to do it. I'll work on it for next week, and we'll have a theme tune. Maybe not next week,
Brilliant.
but the week after. It's going to be 14 minutes long. So, did I tell you about the bet I've got with my brother?
No.
I've got a bet on my brother that by the end
Oh,
of
the dance.
Aye. Was that on this we spoke about, or was it just you in general?
I think it was just me and you that talked about it.
I'm going to tell you about it again then.
Go for it.
I've got a bet with my brother that we're going to release an EP in the summer. A 4-track EP. After release one, he's to release one. And then by the end of the year, we have to see who's got the most plays. My brother's already got tracks out. His name's Emery on Spotify, by the way. If you want to check it out, stuff's pretty good. I've not released
Stole your
tracks.
name, mate.
He did, aye. 4 years before me, actually. It's funny because he started like painting shoes and stuff. He's like, I'm trying to come up with a name. He's like, I'm trying to think. He's like, what about created by Emery? And see, the thing is, my name sounded rubbish at the start, but see, the longer you have a name, the better it sounds. And created by Emery
You're just
works.
like that. No, you're not fucking using that.
But he's my big brother, so he's took it off me, and he now owns my Instagram page. And but
Those are
anyway,
your drawings for you.
I don't even do anything now. So back to the point is I have to do a 4-track EP dance music, release it in the summer, and we have to see who's getting the most plays by the end of the year, and the winner gets £100.
That's fair enough.
It is I, so I'm going to need everybody that knows me to get right behind me, because his tracks are going to be better than mine, but we need to show him that music doesn't matter. It's popularity that matters.
The main thing is beating your brother.
That is it.
That's it.
Alright, thanks a lot for joining us, man. Cheers. Catch you later. That's all my brains was in again. I appreciate the guys that are here each week. It's good to see people
I
actually
know it's
can
good.
turn up again.
I apologise for my performance tonight. It's not been.
They're saying that in the chat. They're saying, "What's up with Spaceboy?"
Do you know what? I can't see the chat, so I couldn't tell you if that's true.
That is exactly what's happening. It's popped up again. What is up with him? They're saying nothing. Nothing's up. Are you sure? No, I'm sure there's nothing up with him. If there is, he's not told me. He's just lacking, and I think it's the pressure.
Aye, it's I've been telling myself all week. Been having one of the weeks where where you just kind of push through when you're drawing things, and you're not really don't know when you're drawing it. You're just like, no, don't like that. No, don't like that. No, don't like it. No, don't like it, and you just kind of push through it because you know that it's just the brain just playing tricks on you, and you can actually draw, and you can actually draw things. But your brain's just like that. No, that's not good enough. That's the kind of week I've been having this week. So it's been fun. Let's just say that.
Sounds like it.
Aye, it's been incredibly fun, mate. Like I had to draw a unicorn for like a commission the other day.
Somebody commissioned you to draw a unicorn.
Yes, mate, they did.
Who? Why?
In a child's room.
Why did somebody commission you to draw a unicorn? It's like, I know an artist. See if somebody says to me, "Do you know anybody who'll draw me a unicorn on the wall?" Definitely would not be you that would spring to mind. Aye, do you want it to have like its arms mouled off and it's got like machetes and stuff and grim as anything? Is it for a Wayne? Do you want them to have nightmares?
I drew it in because I did say at the first place I was just like, listen, look, I take it you want this to be child friendly, and I'm like, aye, definitely, I definitely need it to be child friendly because it's in a child's room, and I was like, right, okay, so I went away and I did something, and I did like usually what I do when I'm doing like a commission on a wall, I'll do like maybe 9 or 10 wee thumbnails just to kind of get the layout right and stuff, and I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't, like, everything I did I was just like no, until I got to like the last one that I did. I was just like, man, fuck it, I'm sending this. What do you think about this? And they were like, whoa, that's actually awesome. Like, I'm kind of blown away. I didn't realise that a unicorn could be that detailed. And I was like, so you like it? You happy with that? Yep. Yeah, I was just like, brilliant. Right, nailed it. That's me. I'm done with unicorns now. She's going to go and draw that on a wall and be done with it.
I'm curious. You need to send me that picture.
I will. It's not even madly detailed either. I just.
Dimitri, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, dude.
And if you're still there, definitely be in touch with you joining in at some point. I can show you some tricks.
Oh, indeed.
You make sure people understand that I'm joking most of the time, by the way. Aye, maybe it has been. No one. People say we need to change your name to something else. But can we get like gets it? Can we go with that? Because see when you say no one, it feels as if you're finishing a sentence saying I'm not talking to any yous. But he says he's kind of had a week as well where he's just not been feeling it.
I feel like I've been wanting to draw. It's just I want to draw, but I'm sitting down and I'm trying to draw things. Do you know what I kind of think it is that I've got several projects there that are like I'm halfway through them on near completion, and it just feels like a never-ending slog because they're always in your mind. And do you know what I mean? They're just always there, sitting, like knitting at you, like finish me, finish me.
I've got folders in that, hundreds and hundreds of them.
I mean, it does no good for my mental health at all.
Defunct just dropped
I'm
a picture
sitting.
in the folder as well.
Oh, I just can't.
That's brilliant, man.
I'll have a wee look in a wee second. I'm just grabbing wee bits. Um, I think next week I'd like to do something that doesn't involve violence. Maybe something space themed again. I quite enjoyed that.
So for people that weren't at the start, there was an idea, there was a suggestion that we didn't use, and it was a rom-com, a bit of toaster and a bit of toast. Sorry, a bit of bread. And I wanted to do that one, but Spaceboy says no. So we can put it out
No,
to the.
it's completely untrue. It's completely untrue.
So a
What
rom
happened
com
initially?
with a toaster and a piece of bread. That would be the ultimate one panel or one page comic. Obviously, it was my idea.
It was your idea. I'm going to do this. Going right across here.
I pushed the F button.
Aye.
Some of the lines mine.
You took
I've just been taken over. I always think, see, like the funk style, it just pure lends itself to like t-shirts and like merchandise dead well. Kind of always finish your stuff off as pieces that can go in things. I'll go to liars a wee bit like jealousy there.
Are we writing just the? Are we swearing?
I know, I don't write the swear words because I can't post it if you write swear words. My mum follows me.
Oh, for God's sake!
Oh, right, totally off subject again we're talking about. Who, does anybody follow any comedians? Have I spoke about this guy before? I always forget. By the way, my memory is done. So it is. So you'll find that I might repeat myself a lot. But the good thing is we're getting different people in each week, so I can say that I'm doing it for them. Not the fact that I forget all the time. But there's a comedian, and he done like a clip, and it was about love songs in the '60s to love songs nowadays. Did I bring this up?
No.
It was like so he done this weekend like TikTok videos like love songs in the '60s. He used to be a back musician for loads of like, big stars. So he was on like Top of the Pops and all that. And it's funny because he's talking about how I love the way your hair smells. I don't know your name, but I want you to be my wife. And then it says love songs in 2020.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully nobody's listening that they shouldn't be. But it's like, put your titties in my face. Put your titties in my asshole. And it was just this wee clip, but it was funny as end. But he's actually released the song. It's worth checking out because it's funny. Because it sounds like a song that could be out today, and it's made by a comedian as in a complete joke. But this is what music's turned into today.
It's awful.
Oh man, it's funny though.
It's like I'm quite sad when I hear a lot of music. Like, I get quite sad that like a lot of the stuff that gets considered as hip hop as well is just abysmal. It's like it's awful.
I find myself listening to new albums, and then I look at the dates on them, and they're like 20 years old. I think, I'm getting old, man. That new album for that band, I was like, that was out in what, like 2002? What, oft? Bon Jovi.
Well,
I love Bon Jovi.
Big Bon Jovi.
I went to see them live.
Did you?
Aye, by the way, it was a perfect day. Sitting in my house one day, right, and my dad phoned me, and my brother. Don't know, one of them phoned me saying, Bon Jovi are playing today. Do you want to go in and see if we can get tickets? And I done, stuff it, why not? What else am I doing? So I picked up my brother, my dad, whoever decided. So the threes went in. At this point, no tickets, nothing. It was in Wembley. I always get mixed up with stadiums. See, because I don't follow sports, I don't know what stadiums are. It was in a stadium anyway. A big one.
Scotland,
Aye.
obviously. Hampden, Murray Park,
Hampden maybe.
Murrayfield, sorry, rather.
Don't know. It's a big stadium anyway. But we're driving there, right, and thought there's no way we're getting parked because the roads were chock a block and there was people everywhere. And see, just as I finished saying there's no way we're getting parked, somebody just to the left of me pulled out a parking space. Parked inside that space. It was free. It wasn't even paid parking. So this is brilliant. So we walked down and we thought, I wonder if we're going to be able to get tickets. So we're speaking to people like, nah, I've got none left, mate, none left. So we got to like the actual stadium and somebody says, 3 tickets for sale, face value. Oh, brilliant, we'll take them. And then it was the best gig ever.
Well, I think was it a good day and stuff like that?
No, it was raining.
'Cause, oh well, I
That's
don't
how.
think that matters at concerts, does it?
No, but not Bon Jovi. In fact, it was that good that right. He was telling you like he was on stage and he's like everybody clap their hands right, and I thought I'm going to clap my hands, and I looked down to see where my hands were, and they weren't there, and I looked up and they were actually already clapping. That's how good it was. By the way, aye, that and I feel as if I need to redeem myself here. That and the Beastie Boys have been my 2 favourite concerts. But it was good. It really, really was a good concert.
Oh, the best concert I ever went to was one of the best I ever went to was DJ Premier at the art school, and I get punched in the face, and it was what a great night it was.
Off him?
Hmm?
Off the DJ?
No, no, that would also have made it
Aye.
like a kind of terrible night, but awesome as well that DJ Premier had punched me in the face.
I don't even know who that is.
Gangster. Must have heard of Gangster.
Aye.
Right, well it's the other half of Gangster.
Right.
There's one half Gangster.
Is
That
it-
DJ Shadow was the 2 gigs were great. Smashing.
Was DJ Shadow done that new remix album with the Deftones, wasn't it?
I've not heard it.
Aye, they done like a Black Pony, like a 20-year anniversary, and it was DJ Shadow done it. But he was supposed to be doing it 10 years ago as a 10-year anniversary, just him doing all the tracks. But this year, he more or less just produced it and got the artists to do different each track individually.
Aye, it was very memorable. I think the best thing about it was the fact that I didn't have any money at the time.
That sounds like a brilliant thing.
Right? Oh no, dude, I didn't have any money, right? So I was like, I'd bought the tickets, and the night of it, I didn't have any money, but we just went anyway. And it was just like, my mate was like, oh, it's cool, I'll get you a couple of drinks. And this was before children, obviously, because when you've got children, you need to have money. I mean, if you don't have any money, then that's a that's a big problem.
That's funny you saying that.
Um,
See, before I had kids, there was times that I'd get to the end of the month and think, right, we've only got £4. It doesn't happen anymore. You do plan things better, don't you?
I totally, totally, man. I think
Two seconds, man.
we
It
didn't.
feels there's people chatting. I feel as if we need to. They're more important than what you've got to say. Because we can come back to you.
Right, we'll tell them tell them to wait a minute.
No. By the way,
What's everybody saying?
about the Beastie Boys. The Beastie Boys was at the SEC and it was absolutely brilliant. It wasn't the round. It wasn't the. See, like there's that famous. Have you seen that one? That like the famous Beastie Boys gig. It was like the round. It was just right in the middle, and everybody was all like. But it was like that, but it wasn't in the middle. It was at the back. So what they done was the Beastie Boys would come out and do like maybe 2 or 3 songs, and then the stage would rotate round, and it would be Mixmaster Mike, and he would do like maybe a bunch of scratching, a bunch of tracks, and then the stage would turn round, and it would Beastie Boys with like a full band set up, so like playing things like Sabotage and stuff.
Oh, cool! That's cool.
And then it would turn round again. It would be, by the way, see Mixmaster Mike is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, he's ridiculous.
And but that gig was mind blowing. That was one of the best things I'd ever seen. The Black Pony album's good, by the way. There's some of the tracks that they put out first were the best ones. I was right looking forward to the Black Pony album, and then when I got the actual album, it was a bit of a letdown. Some songs are brilliant on it, some are rotten. But what's the name of the guy at The Cure? He does one on it, and it just feels as if it needs to go somewhere, and it just doesn't. It leaves you feeling unsatisfied at the end. But sorry, man, I just feel as if I'm trying to find that balance between the chat and our chat, just to make sure, because it was there and I felt as if I was going to say something and it kept going on. I didn't want to look as if I was just ignoring people. But we'll get that eventually. Aye, so you were at that gig?
Aye, that gig. Aye. Aye. No, I just think it's amazing when you go, depending on how good the person is. I left that place feeling steaming, and I never drank a thing. Do you know what I mean? And it just shows you that there's certain things that you can do in life, man. And if you get yourself to that state, that elevated kind of state where you're that excited and you're enjoying something that much and you're tuned that much into it that you just, it feels euphoric without actually having taken any drugs or being drunk. It's pretty amazing,
man. I think live concerts was my life for years, man. I went to see Simian Mobile Disco. I drove to it, and it was their last. Do you know Simian?
No.
They play. Well, they did play dance music, right? But it was all analog, so it was all kind of like a big tower they had in the middle of their stage, and you used to just kind of plug in. I can't even remember the name of it. Like jacks, just kind of have effects in. Kind of they'd have computers, but they had to kind of do everything live. It wasn't just loops set up on a PC. So like their effects, they would have to play live in the middle. So there was like this tower, and there's 2 of them. So one person's PC faces away for the stage, and one faces towards it, and one's got 2 sides of the tower, and the other one's got the other 2.
Oh.
And he kind of like Robert Smith, that's his name, out of Cure. His track's not very good on that Black Pony album. But they're running around this. By the way, they're putting in a power of steps. See back in the day, if they had one of the wee GoPros on, not GoPros, Fitbits, they'd have been hammering these steps, by the way. And they're plugging things in. They make mistakes all over the place, right? But it was part of the charm of the whole thing being live. Do you know what I mean? So like their beat repeats and all that weren't just a button on the app. It was an actual whole unit.
Aye, they were actually doing it.
Aye. And it was absolutely brilliant, man. And see, before I went, I thought, oh, man, I'm going to a dance gig and I'm driving. This is going to be rotten. But see, you're saying, see, absolutely came out it buzzing. Like this is
Aye.
amazing. And it was the last tour
Aye.
they done that way because they were getting older and they says, listen, we're not doing this anymore, it's just going digital next.
Oh, spoilers.
I seen them though, so it's fine.
Oh, spoilers, man. Like, I went to the worst, possibly the worst gig that I've ever been to was Azealia Banks. I went to see Azealia Banks, like, well, that must have been about 8 years ago. Aye, about 8 years ago at the Callan Academy. And my God, man, like, see, as soon as I get in, the first act that was on supporting her were amazing, right? Zebra Cats, they were amazing, or he was amazing, rather. And like, he get the whole crowd absolutely electrified, man. The whole place was bouncing. And then he walked off the stage, and she came on the stage, and the whole tone of the thing just went like away down. She threw water on somebody.
Really?
Aye, aye. She threw water at somebody because somebody tried to touch her. Somebody put her, like, people. She was like away down at the bottom, like at the front of the stage, and you know the Callans, like, it's like you can reach right up and touch somebody if they're on the stage. So she's away down at the front, and people have got their hands up and all that, and she chucked water on somebody and threw a hissy fit and walked off the stage and left her DJ for like 25 minutes doing a set, and then decided she was going to come back home and perform a couple of songs.
Stuff rubbish, man.
I did, honestly, it was one of the worst gigs I've ever been to. It was terrible. I just wished Zebra Cats would have just stayed on for the next 2 hours and just did the whole thing, man, because it was brilliant.
I don't even know who that is. That's
Yeah.
Zebra Cats.
Oh, dude, definitely look it up, man. Like, really, really, it's like a fusion. I like EDM and house and hip hop, I'd say. His songs are all different. They're all over the place, but they're really, really, really deep bass. Really, really deep bass, man. Really good.
I'll have a wee check of it.
I like it a lot.
I've never seen. Sometimes I feel as if I need to try and word things right because I'm going to say this sentence and you're going to say what? I have never seen Queens of the Stone Age live. But
Yeah,
no, it was Defunct Robot says he's seen them a couple of times and they're phenomenal. I always wanted to see them live. See when they had that crazy bass player, the one that had, like, I don't know if the story was true, but I heard that they get fed up with him being that nuts. That they played a live gig and he went missing after it, and they actually just left him in that country, like Germany or something. Like they were touring Germany, and they'd finished their tour there, and they thought, do you know what, he can do what he wants, we'll leave him. And they left him there. The baldy guy with the big beard, he looked as if he's been in a mad metal band. I don't know how true that is though, but I always think
that sounds very metal, mate. It does.
see, like Queens of the Stone Age are one of the bands that I love. There's like so many of their songs will come on. I've got like a few of them in my favourites playlist. I think that's brilliant, man. I'm going to listen to their album, but then I always find it dead hard to listen to the album. Feels as if they've got some cracking songs, but albums aren't that great.
Yeah, I like it when you can listen to an album all the way through, and it kind of takes you on a wee bit of a journey. One of my mates, actually, he does, again, I'd be hard pushed to tell you the kind of genre of music it is, because
by the way, I'm
I've never
sorry.
heard anything like it before.
Do you know? Is it Who's is it Odd Thomas? Is that right? No, Stanley Odd. Do you know him?
I did, yes, years ago.
Because he's getting a new album out. By the way, his stuff it just come up on my sponsored ones and I checked it out. His stuff's good, man. His beats are really good.
I did really good, really, really good, man. like I used to talk to them years and years and years ago when I wrote. I kind of hung about in that circle. Um, but like I had kids and I started being a good boy and
You need to
stopped
you
doing
need to
all
stop
those.
drawing loads of black up there and do it down the bottom now because it's making the two look even different.
Oh, you've not filled in any of these bits.
I don't know how to do
You
it.
need to fill these
I've
bits
not
in.
got that whole. I can't do it. That's your thing, right? Aye, sorry. Aye, so you did, but
Right,
did
I
you ever
did.
rap? Did you rap?
I did, mate. I did.
What's the
I did.
chances he's getting some sort of freestyle on on the chat?
Absolutely none. Absolutely none.
Oh
That's not
man,
happening.
that would have been brilliant. That would have been brilliant, I think. So right, I know we don't get much people chatting, but what's the chances of we can get enough people to say, let's get Spaceboy to do a rap next week? I can't even finish that sentence without laughing.
Here. Listen. There's no chance at all.
Would you not do it again?
It's definitely not going to happen. But you can go listen to some of the songs if you wanted, because I do believe they're still on Bandcamp.
Aye, by the way, that bass player did go nuts. It seems to be that his name is Nick Oliveri. Oliveri. By the way, why did I even try and read people's names? Just his name is Nick. Aye. So was it true that they left him in the country on his own? Marilyn Manson's guitarist, was it his name Johnny Six or something? All started the band. Oh man, they were rotten. Johnny Six, John Six. See, the reason I like you doing this as well is, well, saying that I may as well just do it. Eh? I say I don't know how to do it, but I'll just copy what you're doing.
Aye, just as long as I kind of figured the light source was coming through in the middle, where the explosion's coming from, you know.
I think you've got it down to a T though, man. And then I'm going to come in here and just totally. See, I'm not too sure what to do with his face. Would you do like?
Aye, aye. Basically, just kind of keep the features, and just kind of and then to kind of further it towards the edges, you would just kind of make it lines, so you're kind of diffusing the.
We're all learning.
I don't know. Is this wee guy in the explosion?
But one.
Like how close is this wee guy? I think this wee guy is that close to the explosion that not really much him needs to get shaded at all.
Aye, no, aye, that's fine. Aye, they're all varying degrees of closeness to the explosion. Me and my wee cousin used to share a flat together, and we used to write our own rap songs. We recorded tunnels, by the way, but
See, that was one thing
they were pretty
we
grim.
never kind of.
Would you not record yours? No.
Oh, we recorded. Well, we recorded a lot of it towards the end, but like just before, I'd say about a year or so before I stopped writing. Well, before I stopped recording or writing rap songs, before I stopped writing anything. But I continued to write, but it was like Um, oh, what happened there? I did not like that one bit.
What happened?
Um, I continued to write, but it was just like kids stuff, kids book stuff, and
Right.
the sayings I've done something. I kind of chucked away my toolbar there. There we go. And I couldn't find it. I continued to write. I just stopped writing music because I decided to kind of take a step away from it because, well, I didn't feel it was. I didn't. I started doing it with my mate, and I kind of felt that he wasn't really interested in it anymore. So I kind of lost interest in it a wee bit, and just stopped doing it altogether. But it's kind of lended well to the whole like writing rhythmically because that I had I had written a whole kids book way back in 2009, I think it was.
This isn't
And
still the same one you're talking about again, is it?
no, mate, it's a totally different thing. This actually, I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. I went away to uni one day and I came back, and my Mac had just started an update, and then when it had fully updated, it had totally and utterly wiped my application that I had wrote the children's book in.
What?
There was no saved stuff anywhere. I didn't have a backup. It just completely and utterly wiped it. And I tried for about a year and a half to rewrite it again, and I just couldn't write it. It was finished as well. It was completely finished, and
That's
I just
good, man.
couldn't. I couldn't rewrite it. It was like I couldn't get the cadence right all the way through, and I was just absolutely gutted. But such is life, man. You just get back on the horse and do something better next time, don't you?
Give me 2 seconds, man. Right, 2 seconds.
A wee bit more black for me there. Mm. For some reason, I can still hear fucking Bob Ross. Let me see. And what you think most beautiful profiles? And I hope everybody enjoys what we've been doing tonight. Not really the same level of stuff as we've been doing the past couple of weeks, but it's some fun for Zombie Jesus Day.
Hello. Hello.
Oh,
Right. How are we getting on?
good. I think I just need to do that wee guy with the brain. Need to put some. I mean, what's happening here? Where's his brain coming from? Or like is that just like a? Because I'm seeing like a rabbit with a face brain. brain
That's the
case.
back of his head. So imagine the back of his head's bust open. So the brain's not out his head. It's just a hole in his head.
Ah, right, okay. Okay, cool.
I was finding it hard to draw that. I'm not going to lie. And now you've given me a pure complex about it. Cheers.
I'm sorry, sorry, mate. I'm sorry, mate. Like, I think we've talked about this before as well. Like, if I look at something that doesn't make sense, I'm like, my brain goes in fire.
I know it was a
And you're just like, listen, I draw some things that don't make sense, right? And that's cool. I'm all good with that. You just need to get on board sometimes, mate.
going here. I've still not seen that Snyder cut yet.
Oh, it's awesome. Awesome.
It's going to sound like a total tangent. I shaved my head. Oh wait, no worries, man. Thanks a lot for joining us again. Really appreciate it,
Yeah, thank you very much.
and hopefully we can catch you on next week. I'm thinking, by the way, I'm not saying just out. Next week we can maybe see about getting, because I'm on holiday for 2 weeks, by the way, after Tuesday, and I'm thinking that we can maybe see about getting somebody else in on Saturday.
Aye, sounds good. Why don't we try that whole we switch it up, we'll get somebody in for the first hour, we'll do this
Oh, by the way, that's right.
in your own style, remember? Remember we were doing that was because that was fun, man, and I know that we're probably not going to get the best of drawings out of it, but it's not about that. At the end of the day, it's about it's just about how fun it is.
So you talking about maybe try and find somebody that will join in for that?
Aye. Right, we'll get another couple of people, and we can all kind of do that.
Aye, you could do 4. You could have it a cube, couldn't you? A square, and you could have.
Aye.
See this bit here. That there's too much.
Too much.
Aye,
right.
You can't tell where that ear ends.
I can see.
It's like a straight line. Do you know what I mean?
I can see that, mate. I want my panel back.
What's going on with that egg you drew there? Did your rain come in and draw that? What's that?
Yeah, listen. Don't knock a man when he's down. Right?
What is that?
Wait a minute, where did I put?
Finding that too funny though. I would say.
Mate, I don't think that's my light. Is it?
Aye.
Aye. Right, sorry, it is. I don't have a little light.
It's not that, it's that egg. It just looks.
Yeah, I'm going to fucking rub it out now. Right?
Oh man.
How do you draw an egg?
I think I'm finding that funnier than it should be. But I think we're more or less done with these ink, guys. Success is it? Try and think of the theme now. Armoured, no, zombie bunnies with chocolate eggs fighting. No, armoured chicks. I wrote it down somewhere, didn't I? I think it looks good.
Aye, really the chicks only have helmets on though.
Still armour.
I kind of copped out in that one, but
It's definitely still armour.
I suppose.
No, they've got belts on or no? Armoured belts. No, wait, one of them has.
Right, see, did you see? No, wait, you see me just putting the belt on the chick above?
Are you just adding them now?
Aye.
Didn't even realise that. Zombie bunnies having a chocolate egg fight with armoured chicks. Boom. There's your dinner.
Aye, I think that's
It's coming.
that's
Aye, pretty good.
that's done. That's done. Did you get your wee sticker in? Did you get your logo in anywhere?
Aye, there.
Well, ah,
We're all over the place.
I put it up there on the helmet, but it didn't quite work.
It
But
didn't. No, it's too small.
that doesn't matter.
It's as if you changed
because-
your. It's as if you changed your resolution of your pen halfway through drawing. See if you zoom in, like to the one up the top.
I know it's kind of blurry, dude.
Aye.
I can see that.
Is that because of that whole rotation thing?
I think so, mate. I think it fucked up the resolution in it there.
Aye, I think it might have been that then.
I'm going to just bulk up. Panel a wee bit.
Cheers, man. Have you got to go with gets it? Gets it. Have you finished yours? How's that coming along? By the way, we forgot we had stickers. I don't want to just give them away at the end just for the sake of giving them away at the end, so we'll hold on to them and we'll just build up stuff. Sorry if you were waiting for the stickers.
So next week, we'll wave something else in front of your noses that we'll give you, and
Aye.
you can you can maybe get it at some point in the future when we decide to actually give them away. So
Well, you didn't either. It wasn't just me. You can't just blame me here. See
no,
the-
I'll supply the thing next week. At school.
A car. You can get
Uh,
a brand new Ford Focus. I'll give it away this. I'll give it away this stream. Is that the end of the stream, guys? Sorry, I didn't manage to give away the Ford Focus.
do you know what? It'll just go into a rollover right next week. Somebody else will win it. Oh fuck me.
See, the thing is, I think you've already got them. I think that's the difference.
What, the stickers?
Aye. Do you know what? By the way, that's nonsense because I'm giving mine away. No one never gets it because I've still got a slap ping to send them as well, and I'll throw them in with that. Right? For joining in, let me know who the bass player is in that band. Aye, and just generally getting involved, man. Cheers. You'll get a packet
Yes,
of
thank
stickers.
you.
Don't
very
try and
much.
claim the person that I've gave stickers to. It's you that failed to give yours away now, not me. Don't put that on me.
Wait. Here, listen. The stickers are coming from the same place, mate. Right? I'm not sitting with packets of stickers.
Aye, but says you had one to give away. There was yours there.
I've got a slap thing as well to send. No one ever gets it.
By the way, do you know what? I take these stickers back. You're not getting them. It gets so much stuff. I think you must have a spare room of things that he wins on the internet.
No, I've actually got a slap thing to send them anyway because they sent me it like last year.
Oh right, you done one.
Aye, I've no thing, mate. I've no added my contribution to it yet. It came and then I went right. I'll put it in that drawer in my art drawer, and I said I'll get to that, and I kept taking it out to start it, and not. So I will get that done ASAP. I think I've said that to you already.
By the way, I don't understand the love for them because they're some of the hardest things that I've ever drawn in my life. If
Oh, they're not easy to draw on.
no, the paper all chews up and it goes all wet and they curl up and it breaks down. I think why are these so popular? I
It's
hate
because
drawing
they're
on
for
them.
vandalism, dude. They're primarily for vandalism,
Aye.
purposes.
I feel as if I've not sent mine away yet. I've got 40 to send out. I'll do that Monday. I like the whole point of drawing art. I don't like posting art out. It just drives me nuts, man. I hate that whole thing. But I'll throw in a bunch of
Well,
stickers, mate, as well this time.
yeah, this looks awesome.
I think it looks good as well. Don't know, done my pencil. His isn't going to be finished, but you've won yourself some stickers anyway. And I say next week, right, the plan is for people that are still here, next week, then we're going to go with four people. Four people, so me, Spaceboy, and two others, and we're going to maybe for the first hour have random prompts. We'll maybe just I'll write loads down and put them in a pot and just take them out. And you're not allowed to look.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me just interject right now. You are not writing down the prompts. We'll have them some randomly. So we'll have people say them in the Discord or things to draw because you will go and you will study whatever films it is.
But do you feel? Do you honestly think that I want to win that much? That I would do that?
I do.
You're right. I'm not going to lie. Aye, you're right with that. So, but whatever happens anyway, there'll be four A's and we'll just draw. Somebody will say a character, and then we're going to have like a small amount of time. I think it'll be funnier. I think if you give too long, it's going to be a bit tedious, a bit drawn out.
I'd say about half an hour to an hour. We just like maybe an hour then.
No,
And have it like 5 minutes a piece.
Aye, 5 minutes a piece. Aye.
Aye.
So
And
I've got an idea that a few people will ask to see if anybody wants to do it. See who's involved, and then we'll do the next 2 hours after that. We'll just do a normal comic page. You'll need to bring your A game next week. 'Cause you're going to have to do a comic page.
I'm bringing it next week, mate. I'm bringing it next week. Definitely.
See before you
Definitely.
finish.
I was kind of disappointed. Aye, that's us done, dude.
No, before we finish, there's not see this wee thing here.
Well, what is that?
I tried to do that and I can't do it.
That's atrocious.
That is that's me done that. You need to fix that
What
for
is
me.
it?
It's
I don't. You must rub it out. I don't know what that is. Now.
wait. That's his wee. Like, move your name. Move your.
Oh, sorry. Right.
So that's his wee body. His wee legs are coming across. See, move your name away again. You're right over the front of it. So his head's come off,
How's that?
and that's his body. That's his leg.
Right. Okay.
But
right.
I tried to shade
Right,
it in, and
okay.
it just made it look like a big black blob. So you need to fix it. Pressure's on now. I seen that they're free in the US, but they cost an absolute fortune to buy over here. People still buy them.
Oh, do you know what you can do though? What's the kind of equivalent of them here? If you ever get a catalogue delivery or anything, and you get the little return stickers, I've got like a whole I've got a whole wee Ziploc bag full of them.
There's something less something less cool about having like a USPS sticker or a next one. It's not really good.
Ah, well, you're paying me at the top of them anyway, man. So I don't see. It's like we talked about earlier on with paper, you know. So the same thing we talked about with paper.
Aye,
It's like,
that's the thing with them as well.
You really need it.
You paint over the top of them, right? And some people show you pictures of theirs and it looks as if like they're dead opaque. But there's no way you can cover them. None. Unless you went over it with a layer of white paint initially, you cannot not see what's behind it. But if you get the angle right,
I
it
used to
looks.
spray them.
Did you?
I used to spray them first with white spray paint, and then use like a black permanent marker on them, Sharpie usually.
Oh, yeah, it could work.
It does, mate. It works okay. It works okay, but I mean, you don't obviously with a sharpie. You're not well. Now you can get sharpies of all thicknesses.
Well, it's just the Molotov ones I use, which they're permanent, but I like this wee, I don't know if I said it before, we don't even know how to work focuses on cameras. Why do I even feel as if live streaming's for me? I'm trying to show the pen I use and it just does mad blurry line across the screen. It doesn't matter, there's nothing I can do to get it to focus. Molotov, black liner, brush, small. It's a lovely wee tip, by the way, nice soft. It's a wee felt, do you know what it's like? It's a wee felt tip.
Oh, the end of it.
Aye,
Does
really,
it
really
hold
nice.
up well?
Aye.
Because I always find the kind of ones with the felty tips on
By
them.
the way, that was the
Go.
same ones, the cream ones. Remember when you were talking
Uh-huh.
about them? And they were brilliant.
Uh-huh.
And you get a pack of 4. And they start off brilliant, but they end up not as brilliant. It's as if like, the top of them started breaking away. With the Molotov ones, aye. The weird one has been great, but I've also got the normal brush.
Uh-huh.
And the tip of that's going away, but that's got 2, so you can pull that out and turn it round and it's got another tip. And they're changeable, do you know what I mean? So you can just buy spare tips and ink, which definitely makes it feel a lot better than having to buy a new pen all the time, because you can buy ink for, I think like the black ink's like a £5 for a full tub of it, which makes it pretty decent.
Pennies, man.
Aye, when you start to work out that way, it's initially it seems like quite a lot of cost, but it's definitely worth it.
With the amount of time it lasts you as well, that Molotov, the kind of big refill.
Aye.
I've like, you remember you showed you filled that day we did the kind of panel with Kit and Grin, Doug and Fat Cat. When we did those panels, man, you filled both of my pens up with that thing, and it lasted me for ages. And then I went and bought one as well, and I filled day 2 pens up again, and another 3 pens that I bought.
I've used
and
Molotov.
I still get like.
When you go, sorry.
No, it's finished it.
I use Molotov pens all the time. Like that's my kind of go-to. I'm trying to see if you can even see. This is the refill I bought, the kind of bigger one, and I think it's up to about there. Here, left in it, and that's after filling his pens as well. So I think I've maybe got just under a quarter left in it, and I feel as if I use them all the time. I mean, I filled up. I've got like the kind of what is that, the like a 35mm one or something. I don't know. It's a weird size, isn't it? It's quite a big one. I mean, I've filled up that. I mean, that's full ink.
Is it the big rectangular one?
Aye, and it's leaked everywhere. I mean, remember you were using it, and the ink was getting all over the place. It felt as if it was pouring ink out, and it still doesn't seem to get. I don't know how it works. I think it just inks that black that it just covers everything.
It's very opaque, man. It's like super.
But anyway, if Molotov you're watching, I would definitely wouldn't mind a wee sponsorship. I've gave you enough money. I feel as if you should give me some free stuff.
Oh, that was kind of passive aggressive there, mate.
The good thing is, I know they're not listening, so it's fine.
Oh, imagine they were though.
I think it still look alright. Look at my pen collection. I've got every one of your pens. Every single pen that you have, I've got one of. That's took me like 4 years, by the way. Neon ones and everything. Weird colours. Pastel colours that don't seem to work very well. Hopefully they're not listening.
Right, well, I think this is finished.
Aye, I've stopped all my pens in the top of my thing. I'm done. Just kind of talk nonsense. Just want to say thanks everybody for joining in. And
thank you very much. It's been super fun.
Aye, it's been quick. It's crazy how fast 3 hours go past when you're talking nonsense and drawing dead things. Seems to be the thing I just did now. Well, thanks a lot everybody for joining in, and hopefully you can maybe spread the word, join in next week, because next week's going to be fun.
Oh aye. Oh yes.
And remember, we've got that Ford Focus up for grabs for anybody that's paying. Playing.
And there might be a Rolex as well. We don't know yet.
Right, so just the end the stream, just like to say, guys, is make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. See you next week.
Good night.